The graphics settings for this video are set somewhere around high. I'm using an overclocked NVIDIA GTX 460 on a fairly average gaming system, and partnered with fraps in the background. A little performance adjustment had to be necessary here, just so I could get a decent frame rate. Besides that, with that card I can run most settings on ultra high and still maintain a frame rate setting of about ratio of around 30 to 40. So yeah, all technicalities aside, this game looks absolutely fantastic. I was most of all keen when I got into the beta to take a look at whether they've worked on the dynamic lighting to reduce the glare and fog, how fog just always used to take up the screen in Bad Company 2's engine, and it's been fixed to a level that I'm pretty happy with. If you scope in as a sniper, instead of receiving a massive hit of sun glare or fog intensity, it actually does the opposite and refines the view a little for you, just so you can see through it a bit better, whereas before, if you scoped in, it actually intensified a bit. If you're worried about whether this game will run on your computer, don't get your hopes too down. Even on the lower settings, this game still maintains its graphical appeal, and the art style is still the same. Movement in Battlefield 3 is just great. It's definitely improved a lot upon Bad Company 2's engine, and that it feels a lot more, has a certain flow to it, and the ability to prone was really a very welcome feature. Getting around in Battlefield 3 reminds me a lot of the movement from Brink, in that you can climb, jump, leap and crawl your way around the place, and apart from a few little glitches, the movement is quite seamless. There's a number of interesting new gameplay mechanics added to the game that everyone's just going to have to slowly discover when they start playing the game. A number of them come from the attachments that are unlockable as you use a certain gun for a while or a class, and gain experience points and stuff. For instance, when a sniper's pointing his gun at you, there's actually a glare that you can see from the lens of the sniper that gives away his position. And this mechanic, I don't really know if it's really all that good. It's kind of good, and it's kind of crappy at the same time. It's definitely a key asset for anyone not playing as a recon class, but for ones that do play as a recon like me quite often, I don't really quite get this mechanic, and why it's very necessary. But yeah, I guess all things aside, it doesn't really take away from the fun to be had, and yeah, it's quite good. Another one includes the laser sight, as you can see in the gameplay footage here. It's quite good. I've been using it a fair bit. It helps me, as you can see there. There's like a red dot that appears in the center of the screen when you aim down the sight, and you've got to try it yourself, but it does sort of help improve the quickness of lining up targets, and yeah, it's good. So I'm not that far into the beta so far, but I've also come across the tactical light and the bipod. And the bipod's pretty self-explanatory in that if you prone, it just increases your accuracy. However, the tactical light, it projects a beam of light, and it's quite helpful if you're in the dark and you point it at the enemy's face. It can actually blind them, and this can be really good for people that like to be very strategic, but on the other hand it can be a pretty big disadvantage. Just like in Battlefield Bad Company 2, sort of natural aspects like breathing and bullet speed and bullet drop are all important factors when you're aiming down the sight of your weapon, and need to be considered, and I think in fact they're actually just a little bit intensified a bit more in this, maybe. And that, yeah, there is sort of a bit more kick when you fire from weapons, I've noticed, and yeah, so that all needs to be kind of considered when you're picking weapons out. And yeah, so that's pretty much all I've got to talk about on that. Just so I give you guys a bit of a inside look into the first, I don't know, it's probably a bit into the second day of the early access to the Battlefield 3 open beta, and so I'll give you guys a bit of an update on how I'm going so far, and I plan to get another video out soon when I've ranked up a bit more and got a bit more to talk about. I hear that they're releasing the Cassian border map later on in the beta test, which is really exciting. I'll be able to use some vehicles and be out in the open a bit more, and actually hopefully even do like a conquest gameplay with the big massive 64 versus 64 player thing going on. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed everything I had to say and all the gameplay. There's still a little bit more left, and yeah, stay tuned for more videos, guys, all 8 of you. Yeah, so see you around.
Be advised, the objectives have been neutralized. We've taken the base. Over. Charge is in place and has been set. Over. Be advised, enemy infantry on the move. Over. The objective has been neutralized. Over. Be advised, charge has been armed. Over.